Welcome back to All Things Jatan. You guys, it is so hard to focus right now. I have this company here that are installing a radon mitigation machine when my house is being built. Anytime you break ground, there's a chance of radon showing up. So if you are in the process of having a house built, I definitely encourage you to have a radon inspection added a part of your inspection, just to see where your levels are, because radon is linked to cancer. So, as you guys can hear, what was I saying? Yeah, so definitely order that as a part of your inspection, and also find out like. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is Jatan with All Things Jatan, and y'all should know by now, if y'all ever hear me talking or pronunciating things a certain way, it's because I have my aligners on. We got one more month, hopefully, until we're done with these things. But I just wanted to come on because if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do so. My name on there is also All Things Jatan, and I have been sharing my relocation, my home buying process with you guys. And I brought up something recently that a couple people reached out to me and asked me to share with you in regards to unexpected expenses or buying like a new purchase home, things that you don't really hear too much about. And excuse me for these nails. Hopefully sometime this week I'll be able to go get them done. But I thought that it was a great idea because even in my own journey, I don't even know what I got on my shirt, but even in my own journey, some of the stuff I had never heard about. I'm now living in my second home, so the very first time that I bought a home, I didn't have to deal with some of these things just because of the simple fact that it was on an already existing house. So I'm gonna prop this down. I'm in my bathroom right now, so I'm gonna talk to you guys in here. Hopefully, I did get a new tripod too, so hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys from here. So yeah, I guess we can do this angle. But so one thing that I learned about this, sorry y'all, one thing that I learned about this home buying process, and I think I'm allergic to my makeup. Like if y'all ever notice, and I'm gonna get sidetracked a couple times, but if y'all ever notice that when I have makeup on, like I'm always dabbing or doing something with my nose. I'm not picking my nose, but I really think that I'm allergic to my makeup. But one of the things that I noticed differently, and I do these videos periodically only because we moved in December 29th. So we're still fairly new to living in this house. So as things come up, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I had a realtor that I worked with in Georgia, and my good brother, who was a part of the transaction of selling my home in Delaware, had told me things to look for, because you know, you go into it and you just think like, oh, you're unproblematic until problems come at it. And not necessarily problems, but things that I wasn't aware of, or things I didn't know to ask, or things I didn't know to be on the lookout on. And I say that because a lot of times people, when they're on whatever kind of journey they're on, you hate starting over, whether that's a relationship or a friendship, a major decision such as buying a house. So with that being said, at first I was not interested in selling my house in Delaware. I just wasn't. And I had reached out to my brother in Delaware, and I was just like, hey, I may be wanting to sell my house, just put it out there. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna come through. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on, slow down, we'll record that. I'm not at that level and at that stage yet. Like, I gotta still think some things through. and I had already put my deposit down and my offer down on the house, and the lender was like, okay, first of all, a couple years ago, I had filed bankruptcy, and y'all know I'm gonna be actual and factual, young, dumb. I did have to file bankruptcy back in the day, and my house didn't show up on my credit report. So I'm like, I'm darned if I do, like, it really doesn't matter. But once I told him, because I'm not hiding anything, but once I told the lender, he was like, oh, they're gonna probably want you to sell your house as a contingency of buying this one. So I felt like he was giving me like a hard time in a runaround. He really couldn't tell me why. So me and him like kind of bumped heads throughout the way. But nevertheless, and just talking to my friend, and I try not to tell other people's stories, so I'll tell like where the part that we got in. So I'm telling my friend like, hey, my brother came over, he walked through, told me like what my house would be worth, he could have it sold in this amount of time. My friend was like, oh, well, I want to buy your house. So it never even made it to the market, never even got listed. So that was a blessing. Again, what's for you is going to be for you. And the fact that we didn't even have to list it, like, of course, once it was under contract, it was online and everything, but everything was pretty much handled behind the scenes. So what I found out from my brother was we pretty much had to sell the house because the loan that I had on that house, you can't have the same type of loan. And in order to get the best rates, the best down payment assistance and things of that nature, it was better for me to do another FHA. So, and I was going to do a conventional and all that, but I'm like, if y'all want me to come down to the table with this amount, I'm still going to have to come to the table with something. It was just a decision on 5-digit numbers or like a couple thousand. So of course, if you're thinking and if you're trying to save money and you know you're relocating or anything, like if you know you're going to have to buy furniture, things of that nature, make sure you're comfortable, your kids or whoever has the same life that they're able to sustain, you're going to go with that option. And that's what I did. So I went with the option of getting funding through the builders because they were offering me the most cash assistance. And even though I had did a first time home buyer program before, it didn't matter. There were so many programs in Georgia that it didn't matter that I had utilized a first time home buyer program in Delaware. So when I got here, like my brother had went over the contract with me. I did have a realtor here, and I did pretty much everything online. And when I say everything, I picked up the house. I was not able to like come and see the house until October, but I was already in the process of buying this particular house. I was under contract in September. So when I came here in October, I'm like, oh God, like, and if I cannot insert pictures of what the house looked like when I came and visited in October, it was like the frame and everything was already existing on the house. And he broke down the contract to me because I had been a buyer before, but I was on the end again of being an existing buyer. So one thing that I learned from being a new construction homeowner is there are builder contracts in addition to like your mortgage and your buying paperwork or whatever. So he went by that like line by line, and I'm so grateful and thankful for him. And one of the things he asked me was about radon. He was like, you know, you definitely want to have a radon inspection done or whatever, because radon is linked to cancer or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is and why this is hanging out, but I'm gonna say something. Sorry y'all, but and he was like, you know, it is very common in new houses where you break ground. So I'm like, okay. So I had already told my realtor in Georgia, I was like, you know, once we start getting closer to the project being completed, because just because it's a new construction, you still want to get a home inspection done on your house. I don't care how old the house is. I don't care how new the house is. You still should get a home inspection, because even on my home inspection, with it being a brand new house, there were things that came back on the home inspection report. Now, the benefit of having a home inspection on a new home is, with it being a new home, you expect everything to be in working order, all the bells and whistles to be perfect. Like, it should be a perfect house being a new construction. So normally when you are getting a house that's already is existing, if there are things that come back on the home inspection report, they determine whether or not it's like detrimental, a safety issue or something like that. And if it is, those are the things that they prioritize and require the seller to fix at that time. However, in my situation, because it was a new construction, they had to go in and fix everything. And it was like common things, like they were not fully completed with doing, like, the house was not fully completed when I got my inspection done. So it was certain things, like the grass wasn't laid down. I had, it's not a septic tank or whatever, but it's like something that, like, my sewer is housed by an outside party. So anything water-wise that goes inside of my house gets kicked out to the street and then over to this like other pump or whatever. So I have like a lifetime protection as far as that's concerned. However, that was not done. So when there was water sitting on top of the ground, my home inspector was like, I gotta mark this, like, they gotta fix this, because at this moment, at this time, it's not done. So when I was able to do my walkthrough, these are things that I was aware of, and I was excited about, because I knew that it was going to be fixed. I knew I was going to have that warranty, that guarantee. But at that time, he wasn't given the heads up about the radon test being done. And thank God he had one in his car, because he was able to perform it. And normally when you're doing a radon test, you have to leave the machine in a area of the house that's not close or near everything else. So he called me, because mind you, I'm in Delaware. He was like, hey, I did have the machine in my car. I was able to leave it, so I had just somebody come back and get it. That's a whole separate fee. So you cannot assume that because it was something that was a part of a home inspection that you're automatically going to get it. And what wasn't clear to me is, if your house fails for radon, who is responsible for the cost of that? It should be the seller, because it's like, you already know the risk of breaking ground. However, a lot of sellers, in my case, the builders, know what happens. They added that into the contract. So I wasn't clear, because a lot of this stuff had been initiated back in September. They only covered up to a certain amount to have that machine in. And my realtor was like cool and everything. She looked it up and told me that there were, she gave me like a certain amount of estimates. My back was hurting, I had to come up out of there. But she gave me certain estimates and told me like what the cost would be to have the machine put in the house. So I had to call around or whatever. And I'm gonna show you guys the machine, and I'll show you, it was an all-day process, because they have to find an area. And I really wanted them to do it in my garage, because I don't have a basement or anything like that. But they were not able to put it in my garage, because that's a whole different slab. Like, that concrete that's in my garage is not throughout my house, if that makes sense. But I had to have it in here because it tested 0.6, which is not extremely high. However, with it being a new house, is it going to rise? Is it going to go down? You just never know. So being as though I'm here with my kids and it failed, I had to get that in there. I had to get it fixed. And I don't know, like, just like a lot of people on my Instagram were saying, oh, I bought a house and I didn't even know anything about it. And like I said, it's mainly more so houses that have like new construction houses that have it or whatever. So this is what it looks like. So if you were able to watch my pantry tour, then you know that this is not what it looked like, and this is where they put it. The only other option was to be in the bedroom, my first floor bedroom, which is also my office, and they were not able to put it there for the simple fact that right above that bedroom is my bathroom, excuse me, my bedroom. So they would have had to have somewhere to run this out. So this is the machine in its entirety. So you can hear it now probably, but it's super quiet in the house. Like, it doesn't make noise or anything like that, other than you being like right up and close to it. So this is what it is. So what I have to do, and what was covered in my cost, is you have to send out lab work for it, and they provide you with the lab work. However, and this is what, I don't know if I said this or not, but if you are working with a builder, you're getting a new construction, definitely find your own person to do your home inspection. I'm not saying that people are shady, but people are shady. And I requested to have somebody else do my closing. I had somebody, and do your research. Like, look up the people. These people have ratings. These people have reviews. They're a business at the end of the day. So if you are somebody that is a first-time home buyer, you're getting a home built for the first time, definitely look into these things. It's going to save you down the line. Yeah, so let me find the lab. Hold on, y'all. I put it in this office. So what I have to do now is, it was just put in here. So they told me I have to wait a week from Monday when they put it in. And they gave me this. I'll wait for it to focus. So they gave me this, and what they told me was I have to fill out this information. I have to sit this like either on my refrigerator, my freezer, or something like that. And I have to leave it open for 48 hours or whatever, and then I have to close it up, seal it up, and take it to the post office. The fees and everything were a part of the cost of me getting the machine in. But what that's going to determine is the levels going down. So this particular company was expensive. However, they was like, they already told me we're not the cheapest, but we are the best. And the fact of the matter is, you already know what you're offering, what you're valuing, and I just don't take my kids nor my life and my health lightly. So reading the reviews and doing my homework and everything, I felt comfortable enough to go with them. The system will transfer within a house, but that was something that I had to consider. Like, no matter how much you plan and save, I look at buying a house as like your child. I feel like even when you mentally think that you're ready to have a child, are you ever really ready and prepared for what comes along with it? Because you could think that based on you seeing 20 other people have kids, oh, this is a piece of crumb cake. Oh, I can do this. Needless to say, anything can happen at any given time. And everything with my home buying process was a smooth transition, a smooth transaction. But being a single mom, you definitely have to consider certain things, especially if it's only you on the line. Another thing that a lot of people I didn't know was have money to the side so that you can add blinds to your house or add different things to your house that's gonna, you know, protect you and your household. Blinds can be very costly. A lot of times these windows are not built standard to where you can just go in the stores and be like, oh, I need boo, 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 boo. You know, you gotta literally have somebody come out and measure it and all of that. Like, I had already given myself a household budget. And since I've given myself that budget, I haven't gone over it, but I've been taking my time. Like, in my mind, I've already spent money on certain things, and now I gotta wait for that budget to get back and replenish, regardless of how much I have, because I still want my kids to have a certain lifestyle and to be able to maintain and still take them on trips, and you know, it just rely on me. Even though we're in this pandemic still, you just never know, especially for emergency purposes. Some other things that I wanted to also say is, what else would there be that, I think those were like the main two that I've experienced so far. And it's like I said, it's not uncommon. I don't know if a lot of people advise their what's the word I'm looking for, their clients to even have this type of test done. So make sure that you have good representation. A lot of people think that just because you are going through a builder that you don't need a realtor. Those realtors definitely come in hand, especially when they're working for you and they have your best interests at heart. So that was like one of the things that I really appreciated, and I'm gonna put both of the realtors in here because they really were detrimental into my process. Because like I said, I went from an existing home to a new buying home, and a lot of things that I had to endure this time around, I didn't have to endure the first time around. The main difference is I'm out of the state, so I can't drop in and be there when I would like to. So you going to have somebody every step of the way, especially if this is your first process. You want to make sure that you have the best representation. You want to make sure that that person knows everything about you, so that they're not able to get a hold of you. You've already discussed X, Y, and Z. They know what you want. They know what you're going to say. They're not going to necessarily pull the trigger, but they're going to be like, okay, well, if you do this, this is the outcome. This is my, you get what I'm saying? So those are the things that you want to consider. And I'm going to leave this here. If there's anything else you guys would like to know about my process, or as I come into different things, definitely let me know. Also, some other things that if you're in the beginning stages or getting close to the stages of moving into your house, whether it's new or existing, find out who's responsible for the trash. Is it the city? Is it the county? Or you? Also your water company, things of that nature. Who's your internet provider? These are all things that you can start trying to plan and prepare for, as far as budget wise, knowing how much to put aside. Because in addition to buying a house, it's also good, like I said in my budget video previously, you should have at least 4 months living expenses saved up before you buy a house. Anything could happen. Corona has definitely told us that anything could happen. You know, there's still people out here that have lost jobs, and my sincere heartfelt goes out to them. However, that's just the reality of the situation. There are people that have lost jobs, so at least having that cushion to give you time to find something or pick something else up is definitely something I would recommend. And take your time. Like, you don't have to have a fully furnished house. It's yours. The step to getting to the closing table is often the most rewarding feeling. It's still the American dream for a lot of people. So I am going to go ahead and end this video. I thank you guys for watching this far, if you made it all the way through. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. More videos and content will be coming out shortly. And thank you for all of my new supporters and subscribers. I really appreciate it. If there's anything that you would like to know, I do pride myself in being humble, honest, and transparent. If there's anything that I'm not comfortable with discussing, or if I feel like I'm going to add that into another video, just to send me some grace, because I'm human and I may already have some things that are in the works that are going to go in addition to something else. So I'll definitely be updating you guys on the process of me being a new build or new construction homeowner, and let you guys know how my kids are liking it too. So stay tuned for more vlogs. We're going to be doing a lot more shopping. So most of the things that I've gotten, I did buy online. I just felt like when I go in the store, like I went to the at-home store, and it looked like wasn't nobody at home. Like, there's literally nothing in the stores. And even my bed, it said that it was going to be here between the 30th and the 7th. I'm just now getting the tracking information today for that. So we're gonna get through this together, my good sis, my good brother, whoever is watching this. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.